One Piece chapter 1077 here, guys, and I think it is one of our feel good chapters. I think there are some surprising reveals and possible, setups that's going to happen, that's going to mean a lot in the future, and I am really excited to talk about this. So let's just recap and break down every damn thing that we get to see from this chapter. So without further ado, let's begin. First, let's talk about the cover story that happens in every other chapter from Oda. This is back to the present with Caesar and Judge, Windsmoke Judge, stopping their quarrel and realizing that it's all Vegapunk's fault and that the Vegapunk is the one they need to destroy together. And it makes us believe that they might team up actually. So I knew that the Gemma 66 should make a return to the main story in the manga, but I didn't think it would happen this fast. Yes, they are still in the cover story, but whatever they're talking about actually leads into the story and they think it's Vegapunk's fault. So does that mean that Judge and Caesar will actually come to this island, that Egen Island, before the arc finishes, or is are they gonna attack after Luffy and they all like escape from there and they're going in the ship and they come in here to abduct Vegapunk to make him pay for his mistakes? I don't know, but this is possibly setting up something. Picking up back where we left off last chapter in the main story, we see Sentomaru saying his people to evacuate the island immediately because the Buster Call is here, giving us a recap of what happened on Ohara. And I don't think Sentomaru is going to survive this fight. I think he might die in here heroically because he's just one too many enemies for Luffy. And it was really cool to see the Ohara incident flashbacks back in the pages. And I think this is going to trigger Nico Robin even more. Meanwhile, Luffy and Lucci are actually working together to fight against S Bear. That's interesting to see. Meanwhile, Zoro and Kaku are fighting against S Hawk. Zoro kind of notices that they are getting back up easily, just like what King was doing, and Shaka explains that that must be because King's DNA was used in creating this Seraphim, and that's probably why. It is really great that we are actually acknowledging more of what happened with Kaido in here, with the King's DNA being used in the Seraphim. That would explain actually almost everything. Another funny scene is Zoro listing the characteristics of Lunarians, which is definitely what the characteristics of Seraphim is. And Luffy, Kaku, and Lucci are like screaming at him that he should have realized that sooner, which is really funny to see Kaku and Lucci both in a comrade type art. Meanwhile, we see Nami fighting with S Shark, and it's really cool that she's using Zeus now. I mean, who would have thought that Zeus and Nami would make a nice tag team? Zeus is now protective of Nami and he will do whatever Nami asks him to do, which is really cool, remembering that he was Big Mom's servant for a really long time and now he is just serving Nami. So of course she can't defeat him even though they tried. Esha gets up, but guess who comes to the rescue? It's our only Lovekirk Blackfoot Prince Windsmoke Sanji, and he is really hitting him. While we see the fight with Lilith, Usopp and Frankie against S Snake, which has to be interesting, but Lilith uses a bubble gum which is filled with seawater which actually weakens Snake. And it was a previous theory that devil fruits that were made artificially weren't going to be weakened by seawater, but I guess that was fake. Right now it was proven that they also have weakens that also weakens them. But don't you worry, Snake can handle this because she has the same powers of Boa Hancock. She makes a cute face, and even Frankie, who was about to attack her with a huge bubble gun, just like let's go. He doesn't attack her and she kicks him, I guess, and his face turns to stone. But it's half. He is not fully turned. So that's a great thing, I guess. We still have a hope to fight against S-Snake, but the only one who can win against S-Snake right now is definitely Luffy. And then S-Snake just redirects her cute face towards Lilith and Usopp, and when they're just caught in her spell, she uses her fruit powers and fully stones them, and now they are statues. And I have so many theories about this. Now, we do know that we can counter the Devil Fruit's powers using enormous amounts of Haki, as we saw Law doing it against his battle against Blackbeard. And I think that Usopp might actually use Conqueror's Haki to break out of this spell, which would be really cool that he gets one too. And we've already known that he has Observation Haki, and it's only a matter of time he uses Conqueror's, because we also know that whatever lies he tells will happen in the future in a real way, and he did lie once upon a time that even sea kings used to tremble in fear before him, and that was definitely a lie, but it was kind of a setup, I guess, for this great reveal where he actually gets to use Conqueror's Haki, and he doesn't even realize that. But the cliffhanger of the episode is Shaka returning back and finding Stella and the other Cypherpol agents. He doesn't know how they got there when someone from behind comes and shoots him in the head, killing him literally, I guess, because there is blood splattering on the floor. How come Oda killed someone who has a really cool mask? But I don't know. But who is this traitor who is walking down the stairs? We perhaps will know really soon. And who do you guys think is actually the traitor? Because there are 6 Vegapunks and there might be anyone. Now Shaka is out of the picture. I think the list goes to the other 5. And Lilith is also out of the picture. And I think it might be Atlas or Edison, whom we have seen really less of. Lilith might be the embodiment of evil, but I don't think it's her. But tell me in the comment section below on who you think is the traitor. And yes, there will be no break next week. That means we have a new chapter next week. We already know that Law versus Blackbeard is happening. We don't know who might win, but I think Law might lose, especially because he's alone. He could take care of Big Mom, who is not as notorious as Blackbeard in my opinion. And we already know that Blackbeard has kidnapped Pudding, and she can probably read the poneglyphs in the future, so that will be really interesting. And speaking of Blackbeard kidnapping pirates, you know who else is being held captive by Blackbeard? Yes, you heard it right, it's Kobe. And who's coming to save Kobe? It's none other than Garp. That would be really cool, Garp fighting against Marshall D. Teach. And also Shanks versus Kid is happening. We don't know who will win. I think Kid will lose, and either he might die or he might actually join Shanks' crew. But he has too much ego and I don't think that's actually possible, but it could be. I think Oda is actually preparing this giant chessboard that he has for his final saga, and I think this all for all battle royale that he has teased quite a bit is going to be an all out war between as many pirates as they can for the treasure of One Piece, along with the Marines being thrown in the mix. There will be all 4 Yonkos in here, which will be amazing, and I'm really excited for this. I can't believe that One Piece is coming to an end. Well, an end meaning that there's still 3 more years probably in which Oda is going to be writing the story. Well, including delays and stuff. But I am really happy that we're getting to read this weekly. And because of that, I will be putting weekly videos in my channel too. That is, before the spoilers one, I put the spoilers video as in a form of shorts, and then the main breakdown video like this in a long elongated video. So if you don't want to miss on that, you have to subscribe to this channel. I do read other manga and watch other anime, which I try very hard to put it in my channel. And yes, I also put so many reviews in the form of shorts. So if you don't want to miss out on any of that, subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, sayonara guys, Chan out.